Hello, and welcome to TSTV, a show in which I, Sadie, guide my friend Lily through the wild world of Twin Peaks. Lily, it sounded like you just made a weird, squeak sound with your mouth. What's up with that?
Oh, I was practicing my squeak sound. No, I was opening my water bottle.
Squeak. Ah, I see. That means we're gonna have to keep that squeaking now. Anyway, how's it going?
It's going pretty good today. Weather outside has been, it's light outside again. It's kind of dreadful, but it's kind of nice. I don't know,
But inside it's all delightful.
It's been really snowy, but not really cold. So I've been
Just
spending time outside.
Let it snow reference.
For the real Christmas heads.
Yeah.
It's late March, mind you. Yeah, so I've been trying to spend more time outside the house. You know, I've been in writing mode, so it's like I need time where I'm not just sitting alone with my thoughts. I kind of need to let myself breathe a little bit. So a week or two ago, I went up Mount Royal in a brand new fashion that was so intense and so wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Say more.
This is our humble little mountain at the heart of our beautiful city. And most often you would climb it from the east side. There's trails and staircases that are not super steep. And it's a pretty manageable, you can do it in an hour comfortably. I went up it with our mutual friend Naja from the north side, which is where
all the fucked up stairs.
They were mostly not stairs. We actually we were kind of going up these closed, snowed out trails for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Kind of trespassing or not. I don't know if we were allowed to be there or not, but you kind of go through the University of Montreal campus where I'd really never been before because all of it is kind of sequestered up on the mountain. And we got to the top and we found ourselves at this lookout that is gorgeous and just gives you a view of the city that you never see, and there's no guardrails or anything, and it's completely quiet. Lots of birds. Found more than a little bit of blood on the snow.
Oh, damn.
I wonder what was up with that. But other sorry, that's a crazy detail to drop in my otherwise lovely little anecdote.
You had a real adventure.
Yeah, something like 12,000 steps that day. It was crazy.
Hell yeah.
I'm just trying to do more stuff like that. Kind of, I always get out of hibernation a little bit this time of year, and that's been really nice.
Hell
Sadie,
yeah.
I'm going to ask you how you are, but I think I already know. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It's funny. You said 12,000 steps, and I was like, yeah, I've been on that. Because what I've been doing, it's our first time recording in 3 weeks, maybe even a month.
Yeah.
Because what I have been doing is leading a student election campaign to get more money for my university adjacent nonprofit job. And I was like, yeah, I have been getting 10 to 12,000 steps a lot of those days because I was just
crazy.
On my feet all day doing tabling, being like, oh my God, you should vote. Let me tell you about us. Here's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we won, baby.
You won so hard.
I got my money right. Yeah. Some fucking financial security shit. It's really, really, really cool. So that's pretty sick.
You ran such a good campaign. You were going fucking ham.
You can't see, crazy. But I'm doing a little dance.
Ooh, describe it to us.
It's kind of like a yeah.
Wow, I feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
That's so cool, dude. How have you been commemorating or celebrating? Because this was about a week ago that you won, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, resting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And started playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice to be let's just start playing a game after doing all that,
Love that. How is it?
It's good. That guy dies twice. I've only a couple hours in, but it's really fun so far.
And you've already died both times?
I know.
What could be next?
Okay, here's the other. I mean, that's great. That's very good personal news. Yay! Here's the other thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
My note just says the fuck Spotify minute. Because,
I want to know.
I was inspired because my probably personal favorite podcast, Friends at the Table, recently was oh yeah, we're taking a lot of stuff off Spotify. And that's been there's been a million Spotify things, kind of rabidly pro AI and also pro genocide in Gaza. Yeah, ICE. I think that what pushed it over the edge for them was that Spotify seems to be just using everything on it to train its like bullshit AI music stuff, including the podcasts on there. And they're saying like Spotify is, after Apple Music, the like second most popular thing for them. And I checked on our podcast host thing provided by Nebula, and that is also true for us. And I just want to say that's crazy because, okay, one, obviously all the ethical stuff, Spotify loves to make dog shit AI music. It loves to fund all the worst things in the world and like play ads for ice and whatever the fuck. They've recently switched to a model where instead of paying artists every time you listen to a song, they kick them in the teeth. But also, it just sucks. My like end of 2020 resolution was like I broke up with Spotify, and it was great. I honestly have not looked back. I'll get more into that in a minute. But part of that was that like the experience of listening to podcasts on Spotify just sucks. And okay, at the time, I don't know if this is still true. On like desktop, if you want a podcast, you just had no access to the like skip 15 seconds forward or backwards thing that you like, girl, you need that for podcasts. Maybe they have that now.
I think they have that now, yeah.
But I'm going to say this morning in preparation for this, I downloaded Spotify on my phone just to put up our podcast, and one, they play ads at the beginning and the end of the episode.
Wait, Spotify plays?
Yes, which is crazy. And we don't get a cent for that. We have no control over that. It also inserted a bunch of like AI generated like chapters into our podcast.
Oh, yes, they do this for everything. It's so
like, yeah,
annoying.
I like just like put on our last episode that was out. It was like 4 minutes in was like, the hosts discuss Audrey's outfit. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, the chapters are like they'll be like 30 for like an hour long episode. It's so like designed with people who have absolutely no attention spans but like it's a 3-hour podcast. I'm sorry. Like if you're listening, you're not skipping around and doing the chapter thing. I don't really understand what problem this is intended to solve, you know?
I'm on like Pocket Casts. You could just use Apple, but like podcasts, like there are so many nerds that make a free podcast app that does exactly what you want it to, and it's free, and they're all basically the same. And like I don't understand why you would use Spotify and get ads or pay for it. And then like there's music. But here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
Of all the ways to pirate anything, SoulSeek is like the easiest in the world. You Google SoulSeek, you download it. It'll tell you, hey, do you want to share a folder with people on your computer? And you can choose an empty folder, and then no one will get to look at your computer at all. And then you can just search for like any album and download it. I think it probably takes less time to set up SoulSeek than it does to set up a Spotify account and fucking like connect your credit card and all that shit.
It is extremely easy. I will say one thing that I'm kind of conflicted on this front, like a big part of the fuck Spotify thing is that they don't pay artists. And so going from that to something that doesn't pay them at all feels like kind of not great for me.
My model was and this is what I do, is the $10 a month that I was paying Spotify, I instead once a month buy an album on Bandcamp. And thus have given 10 billion% as much to musicians over my lifetime, you know?
That is definitely true.
And also, like, you know, after there was all the like stuff last year when a whole bunch of musicians like took their stuff off Spotify. I mean, honestly, the other thing is there's just so much stuff that's not on Spotify, you know? Like,
yeah, it's true.
I bet you your favorite band has some cool like B-side or like half released thing that's not on there. Honestly, even before all the ethical stuff, the big thing that made me want to not use it anymore was just like how much I could feel it distorting my taste.
Oh, yes, I hate this.
Okay, here's an example. I love Kashiwa Daisuke. I'm not sure if that's really how you pronounce his name, but he's like a Japanese kind of in between like post-rock and electronic and like, I don't want to say classical, but like orchestral music.
Cool.
And like, I really strongly recommend his albums Program Music 1 and Program Music 3.
Fuck
both
Program
of which are the
Music
kind of
2.
It's fine. But like Program Music 3 is literally like one 45-minute song, and it goes hard as fuck. Has some like hip hop in that one also. And when he put it out on streaming, he had to split it into a second song at the end that was like 2 minutes because they wouldn't let him put out a 1-minute album. But like that is genuinely what some of my favorite albums. And Spotify would be like, you only listen to it 3 times because it's a 45-minute song. You must not like it that much. You can have 100 gecs again. And don't get me wrong, I like 100 gecs, but like I really realized the amount of artists that it was just not putting back into the algorithm and that I would just forget about, and having them as little files on my computer that I can look through my library and be like, oh, yes, I would like to listen to this. And Spotify would have never remembered that I like that.
Yeah, that's huge.
Because Lily, you're on Spotify. Like, how do you listen? Like, Shoo is off Spotify now, right? Like, what do? You love Shoo.
I love Shoo. First of all, I just like had already bought some of their albums, so I have them as MP3s. Second, to be honest, even with that said, like I do find myself listening to them less since they have left streaming. It sucks.
Well, they're still on the other ones, right? Anyway, I love files. I think everyone should. I admit that part of why I'm able to do that is because I have a desktop computer that I put my little Plex server on, and then I can stream my files to my phone when I'm out and about. And that's not easy for everyone, because some people are laptop losers. Sorry.
Wow.
I didn't even mean that. But I love files. But you were gonna say something.
Well, I was gonna say that I'm only on Spotify because my family pays for like a family plan, and
classic.
Yeah, I would not pay for it myself, you know. I am trying to be a little more deliberate with my music curation these days, because I also find like I'll try to throw on a little playlist or something when I'm in the car, and every Spotify curated playlist, or like the ones that they generate like for you, it's the same fucking 12 songs for any context, for any genre. I tried the winter mix and the summer mix, and it's all fucking the same 3 Father John Misty songs and a Wise Blood track and like a Mountain Goats 2002. And it's like, I like all those songs, but you're making me hate them because you're taking this thing that I love and kind of forcing it on me, you know?
Anyway, listen. Not everyone can live the life of beautiful files, and they have their little Plex server running off their desktop computer. And in these days, desktop computers are so expensive because of AI bullshit. So whatever. I don't know. If you live the streaming life, I don't know. I recommend not Spotify, but at the very least, if you're listening to this on Spotify, not even ethically, just for your own experience, I recommend so strongly just getting on a different podcast app, because I have found basically all of them to be a better user experience than trying to listen to podcasts on Spotify. So that's my minute.
Thank you for sharing. Can I say something to that point before we move on?
Yeah. The fuck is it the fucked up description things, the show notes for our episodes that Spotify fucks up?
I think every platform fucks those up. I don't even understand how.
Well, no, we make beautiful little show notes, and they have the hyperlinks, and they have little formatting. And when I click on our show on Pocket Cast, it looks fine. And all the links are there, hyperlinked, and it looks nice. And then when I looked at it on Spotify, it like doesn't format it at all. And it doesn't put the links in. It just fucking puts it in next to the text, and it looks fucked up.
Oh,
and if you've been listening to us on Spotify the whole time, and you're like, damn, these bitches' show notes are chopped as fuck, the fucking listen to something else, it'll look good. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I agree with you that the podcast experience on Spotify is so bad. Here's the one thing that really gets me. If you listen to 10 minutes of a podcast and then decide you don't like it, it will continue recommending you new episodes of that podcast until the fucking sun explodes.
Oh my God.
I did an episode of, what's that really famous one? Behind the Bastards. People are always talking about that show. I put it on. It's like, no hate to that guy there or the co-host or listeners, but the full first 10 minutes were just him going, haha, I'm an alcoholic. And I thought, this is kind of, he means it to be funny, but I'm finding it kind of disquieting. And so I stopped listening. And every new episode is just put right smack in the middle of my home feed. And it's like, if I want to see that, I'm going to follow the show. It's just, it keeps showing me things that I've like tried out and not enjoyed and not listened to much of. And it's like, I want to see the shows that I follow, if anything. So yes, I should probably get on Apple Podcasts or whatever. Anyway. Before we move on, I did want to tell you...
Yeah, now that I'm getting off my soapbox.
I did want to tell you about a movie that I saw last week that I adored, and if you haven't seen it, I think you would too.
Okay. I'm excited.
Have you seen any Greg Araki? I just watched The Doom Generation.
You know, he's always been on my list, and I still have not actually sat down for one.
Yeah.
In the same way that it took me a long time to watch Twin Peaks, and... the whole time I was like, whenever I do, I'll probably fucking love it. And then I did. This is the same sense I've honestly always gotten of Greg Araki.
Yes, 100%. I had previously seen his movie. I think it was Nowhere, maybe, and it kind of left me cold. It was like good in vibes, but just like I didn't feel much of an emotional core there. This movie, The Doom Generation, very nearly a perfect movie. I think you would love it so much. Can I tell you about it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so it follows these three sort of burnouts in their late teens who are, it's never explicitly stated why they're traveling around. They're maybe like on the run from the law because they've been framed for a series of murders. But it's like, it's this young couple with this super ditzy sweet boy who's basically a girl. And then this bad boy who kind of torments the boy. And the young woman who's like sort of both of them revolve around, she's just like super hot for them both. And so she kind of wants to do a bit of a challengers thing and like get them involved with each other. And they're also in love, and it's wonderful. It's really very gender. But like the main thing I want to talk about is it is at once the least subtle and one of the most like thematically complex movies I've ever seen. It's one of those movies, you know, it's like kind of always nighttime. Anytime someone buys something at the store, the cashier rings them up for a total of $6.66. It's the world is very, actually, I saw the TV glow in that everything just feels like haunted in a very like American nationalistic way. And everyone is just like constantly doing these great little silly 90s quips at each other, like, ugh, gag me with a spoon or whatever. But then at the end, it takes this like really kind of unbelievably grotesque turn in the last like maybe 10 minutes of after it being like a silly bisexual rom-com. Maybe not silly, but definitely not like as insanely bloody and bleak as it gets. Basically, they set up all this super tropey on the nose stuff, and then at the end they hit you with this thing about like fascism and queer masculinity, and it's like I honestly have no idea how I'm supposed to interpret it.
It's very intriguing.
Yes. Oh my god, like I'm so sure you would love it. It lulls you into like kind of genre land, and then it wakes you up with extreme horror. It is sort of very Twin Peaks in that way. Yeah. A bit Lynchian, maybe. Yeah. Oh my god, fucking awesome movie. Doom Generation.
Hell yeah. I heard you also watched another movie that I have been told I would probably really like, Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Yes, I watched this a couple nights ago with our mutual friend. That is a movie that actually feels quite similar in that like it is in some ways super on the nose, in the ways that matter, completely opaque. This one it's set in 1900 Australia, when it was still, I think, a dominion of the British Empire. It was like maybe a couple years before Australian independence, and so it's very Victorian in vibes. It's very Australian in vibes, is what I almost said. And it's about like a private girls' boarding school that goes on a picnic, and several of the girls seem to get drawn to this like mountain with mystical properties, and they go missing. That is all I will say. But at the same time, I could easily talk about this movie for hours. Yeah. Also, just really, really cool. Also very homoerotic, I gotta say.
This is one that people have been telling me for a while. Sadie, I think you would love this movie. So sounds like I got some movies to watch.
Sounds like you got some movies. Yeah, I watched both of these, by the way, in the context of a video/series I'm working on that is very much inspired by our time here watching Twin Peaks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Twin Peaks.
Yeah, let's talk about Twin Peaks. Shall I jump into our recap?
Please.
Oh, I still miss the log lady.
Oh.
So, in this episode, we'll start with Dougie things. Dougie Dale sheds a tear at the sight of his son in the car, then goes to work at Lucky 7 Insurance. He convinces young intern Phil to give him a guy called Frank's coffee, which works out because Frank finds out he likes green tea. A flashing green light makes Dougie say that a coworker, Sinclair, is lying about an insurance payout on a fire. His boss, Bushnell battling Bud Mullins, gives him a bunch of case files to study all night. Then he forgets how to pee again, which makes an anonymous female coworker want to fuck him so bad. And throughout all this, he definitely does not pay back the $50,000 debt that Janey-E tells him to. It's crazy recapping all that, because it's just like, what? Anyway, meanwhile, Mr. C is locked up in jail where he sees Bob's reflection in the mirror. He uses his one phone call to say something about Mr. Strawberry right into the camera, surveilling him, which seems to rattle the warden. And then he puts a code into the phone that makes every alarm go off so he can say the cow jumped over the moon into the phone without anyone hearing. Meanwhile, the hitman supposed to kill Dougie keeps circling the block and going, I don't know, his car is still there. This really stresses out a woman named Lorraine who texts to a little black box, which shrinks. Don't ask me. Later, some punks try to steal the car and it explodes. Anyway, the detectives find Dougie's ring inside the stomach of maybe Gerlin Briggs's corpse. Shelley and Norma bond over how Shelley's daughter, played by Amanda Siegfried, is dating a burnout called Steven. New Sheriff Truman's wife is a total bitch. Two mob guys beat up and fire the casino pit boss while their three hotties watch. Jade puts Coop's Great Northern key in the mail. A guy named Only in the Credits gets very rapey at the Roadhouse. Tammy Preston seems to think there's something weird with Coop's fingerprints. Andy and Hawk still got nothing. And we finally learn what Jacoby is doing with those shovels. And it makes no sense. Lily, what do you have to say about this episode?
I mean, it's clearly, this is a mid-season episode. It's like very good for what it is. It's not doing anything super climactic, but that's not like, not every episode can be that, you know? There are definitely like a few scenes here that I really adore and am intrigued by. But a lot of it does feel like setup. There's like a lot of very quick scenes where not much happens.
Yes.
Overall, I do definitely like it. How about you?
The very quick scenes is honestly the big thing that jumps out to me, because when we make our notes and we divvy up our scenes, I tend to just number the scenes as I take notes to make it easier to like put the recap stuff in after. And that from doing that, I know that like the original run, every episode was 19 scenes. You know, episode 3, the one where he was wandering through fucking Mystery Land for like half an hour was only, I think,
The Return, you mean?
Yeah. Only 13 scenes, and this one is 25. So like we're really seeing again how being on streaming and on Showtime as opposed to like network television means that they can be a lot more adaptable with how they want to structure an episode and like what scenes they put in and how long they have to be, which is interesting. But basically I would agree. It feels like we are back to setup and back to like, let's check in on these people over here. After, I would say, the last 2 episodes having been, like, I think a lot of payoff from the setup of parts 1 and part 2.
I agree.
But yeah, shall we jump in?
Let's do it, baby.
Okay, so, as I said, so there were those 2 guys, Gene and Jake, which I believe are the ones who, was maybe going to snipe Dougie on the way out, but then he dropped his key and it worked out. And they just keep kind of going around and being like, damn, his car's still there, the lights are on. I guess he's in the house. I don't know. They call their like handler or something Lorraine, and she's like, man, this stresses me the fuck out. I'm assuming because she doesn't want to have to tell evil Mr. C that they're, they haven't killed Dougie yet. She takes out her BlackBerry and types 2 to a number. I like how the wiki summary here puts in brackets, leaving 159 characters to type. Just reminding us that she could send 160 characters worth of text on her BlackBerry, I guess. Anyway.
There have been a lot of 3-digit numbers named. 159, I don't think is one of them, is it?
No, I don't know why the FanWiki put that one in. I truly don't.
Okay.
Anyway, she sends it to a contact called Argent, and then we see in Buenos Aires, Argentina, which pointedly is where all that shit happened.
Pointedly is Argentina.
Yeah, well, that's where all that shit happened with Philip Jeffries.
Oh, right. I was trying to remember the connection.
Anyway, there's a little box that flashes with 2 red lights, and that's all for this one. Oh, actually, before we get into any of that, the first thing that happens is we get a, like, pan over the like Las Vegas skyline while an instrumental's playing that is like completely different from any kind of instrumental this show has done. It's like feels like 2000s 2010s indie movie inspirational panning over the city.
It's like halfway between like M83 and like corporate inspiration music.
Yes. It is kind of giving Red Ball Market Global, and then it's done, and it is there for literally 5 seconds, and then that's it. It's fucking odd. Weird. I know, right? And it doesn't even sound like it was Badalamenti.
I wonder why they did that. Maybe they just felt it was going to be weird to like cut right into this crime scene.
Oh yeah, this was definitely less weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think my big notes on this one otherwise are just like Lorraine's delivery continues to be the kind of over the top stilted delivery that this show has been serving in a way that's really fun. And also yes, I like how what she's listening to in her place, my subtitle's just called instrumental hip hop beat, which it really is. She's just sitting at her crime desk with a bruise on her chin listening to like wow wow bonk wow wow bonk. You know,
someone just Googled like so and so type beat and put it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that she has a BlackBerry and a rotary phone, and she uses both in this scene.
Yeah,
I guess we could say because she needs to text the black box, but like Mr. C calls it on the phone later, so whatever. I do really appreciate how much David Lynch loves a second location mysterious crime boss.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like there's one of these in everything he does. And her, I hope we see more of her. The fact that she's named is encouraging. She's like, I like how much she does not appear to have it together.
Yeah. She's really like a hitman handler who's like, woof. The
stupid job.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much on this one.
Yep. We then have another little one, which is small, but has a truly baffling clue. So this is the detective gang of Detective Talbot and Dave Mackley, and another guy who the wiki says is Detective Harrison, but sure, whatever. They're the ones who had found the corpse, and with the whole Shaggy Matthew Lillard, who doesn't come back this episode. Anyway, we come in on them having a real like CSI exchange. She like hits 2 quips back to back. Like, I don't know. I think this man was decapitated. Ha ha ha. Just a little coroner humor. But the thing that she found in his stomach is a ring that has engraved on it, "To Dougie with love, Janey-E," which is crazy. This is the corpse that we were speculating was Garland Briggs. And the fact that in this episode they tried to run the prints on the corpse last episode, and in this episode we do see the military people being like, someone tried to run prints on Garland Briggs, implies that this might in fact be his corpse.
Yeah, I think it must be.
How the fuck did Dougie's ring get in there? And why?
It feels sort of equivalent to the like Bob putting letters under people's fingernails, you know, like hiding a message inside a body. But that doesn't make me like not confused about it. I really want to know what Dougie had been up to before this, because you know there's mention in this episode of him having like episodes, him going on benders. What kind of a guy is he?
Like, it makes you wonder, like, were there points where Mr. C like took over the reins of Dougie in some capacity?
That's interesting.
You know, like the episodes thing seems like it's like what made me, when that line comes up later, makes me think that it's like, oh, Dougie's also been like spacey and out of it in the past. But the thing of him going on benders is like, does that mean that Mr. C was like piloting Dougie to go do like, you know, fulfill his horrible desires or whatever? And also like that would explain how it could have like, did he use Dougie to kill Garland Briggs and like plant his ring in him? I don't know. It's fucking crazy, but shit's weird.
That's a pretty good guess. I'm comfortable going with that. I still have no idea what Matthew Lillard's dude, like how he could be implicated in any of this. Yeah,
they really did the Twin Peaks thing of like, he was such a part of the last 2 episodes, and this one they're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, here's a question that I have. Detective Talbot says of the corpse, this man hadn't eaten for days, at least not any food. Oh, I get it. That's a reference to the fact that he may have eaten the ring.
Like, I guess? But yeah, every detail about this does make me go, what the fuck? This is some kind of twisted conundrum.
I think I've said this every time she is on screen, but I am unfortunately in love with her. The fact that she's like a crime detective who is also like bad at stand-up comedy, it
is really good. It is really good, yeah. Anyway, shall I take us to the next one?
Yeah, what's next?
So we then have another little scene, although this one's actually kind of a big deal. So we know that Mr. C is in jail, and he's just fucking sitting, chilling. And he knows, he's like, and now food is coming, which to me is partially like he knows this prison inside and out already. He knows the routines, he's tracking time perfectly, but it also does feel like he's clued into like food and consumption in a very Bob type way. And to that note, he goes and looks in the mirror, and then we get another like remix of the archival footage of who I guess was Mr. C as Coop Doppelganger in the Red Room, doing that laughing, and it like keeps cutting and like playing it back in really fun ways.
And he's with Bob, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then the like clonk in the mirror at the end of season 2, and then the
clonk being when Dale smashes his head in the mirror.
Yeah, you know, the clonk. And then very slowly and honestly kind of subtly over his face in the mirror, we see Bob Frank De Silva's face.
Is that what was happening?
I think so, yeah.
I swear I could not even see it. Like,
no, it is very subtle.
I just thought he was making a really disturbing face, to be honest with you.
No, it's like just the mouth kind of, and like the eyes a little bit. But it definitely is Frank De Silva's face being overlaid. But I agree in a much different way than like how we've seen it, you know, with like Leland or anything, as if Bob has like diminished over time. Again, obviously they don't have Frank De Silva. That's a big part of it. I mean, I think this is like a couple things. One, he sees himself as a different entity from Bob, kind of like,
yeah,
I was suggesting last episode or the episode before, when there was whatever entity he was talking with on the phone was like, you'll be back in the lodge and Bob will be with me again. Like, he wants to have Bob with him, but also it's like the ways he is different from Bob or something has, obviously in real life, the fact that Frank De Silva is dead means that like Bob is like diminished, and he's not in the mirror like, he just barely, his presence is barely still there.
Yeah.
But he's like, that's good. I can still use Bob's power, I guess.
Sure. I would say much like people talk about Leland as having been fully possessed by Bob and he wasn't himself anymore. And like, I think we both kind of disagree with that take. They seem to have formed some kind of pact, Leland and Bob. It feels like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's a confluence of two forces. I like a lot the "and now food is coming" thing, because it felt to me like he was willing it into the room, almost like a director would.
Yeah, I love that.
Also, is he the only prisoner in this whole hallway? Because he's the only, you know.
Yeah, they have him in his special fucked up guy hallway.
Any other thoughts? Should I move on?
Take us to the next one.
Okay, next up, this is an interesting one. I didn't initially recognize him, but this is Mike the Snake, who now works at...
Oh my God! Whoa! Yeah. I did not recognize him until you said that just now.
No, I know.
Oh my
God. I
only
caught it on my second watch.
That's
I was like, this guy's
crazy.
familiar.
Do they say, does he have it? There are a couple characters who we don't hear their names, but they are named in the credits, and so we know their names. Does he say his name, or is it just like on his desk or something? Is he credited?
Oh, I just recognized the face, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, I see it now. That is Mike the Snake.
Yeah,
Mike the Snake is a cranky boss at fucking whatever the fuck this place is now. Oh my God.
Yeah, gives like car dealership or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like travel agency or some shit.
Yeah, totally. So Mike the Snake, I'm gonna keep calling him that.
Yeah.
Calls a dude in from the lobby, a guy who this description tells me his name is Stephen Burnett.
Oh, he's the guy. He's the weird ass brother from Get Out. That's where I know this actor from.
Okay, yes. I knew the face from somewhere. Like, excellent weird guy actor.
Yeah.
But also very good looking, right? Anyway, he calls in this guy who is here for like...
Hold on. It's time for a Caleb Landry Jones aside. Check out this picture on his Wikipedia page in which he's fucking slaying with the long hair.
Wow, that is a fascinating looking guy. He has beautiful eyes, doesn't he?
I know, right? Anyway, that's the Caleb Landry Jones minute.
Look forward to it next time. Okay. So Mike the Snake calls in Steven, who I guess is expecting like a job interview. He sits down, he goes, "Oh, great." And Mike tells him, "Well, not great." And then he launches into this like very cruel sort of tirade about how this is the worst resume I've ever seen. This is nonsense. I would never hire you, and I would never recommend anyone hire you. Your forms were filled out wrong, all this. And Steven just like sits in silence, gets up, like loosens his collar a bit and leaves. And Mike says, "What an asshole." This feels like a really sharp bit of like TV meta commentary to me. Before I get into that, I also just have to shout out Windows 7 on Mike's computer.
Shout out
to Windows 7.
Shout
out. Like, you know what this reminds me of is something that has bothered me about network TV for a very long time, which is that when you have characters in a, like generally in a workplace, you know, a cop show, a medical show, a legal show, part of the way that you create tension is by making the vulnerable people those people are meant to be serving just like difficult or assholes.
Yeah, totally.
How on medical dramas, the patients are always so irrational and so rude and so demanding. And that kind of feels to me like what this scene is tapping into. Like this character who we recognize is being an asshole for reasons that I think we are kind of meant to empathize with. But when you think about it, this is completely unjustified. I mean, Mike calls this kid an asshole. He hasn't done anything. He didn't actually do anything wrong, right? I think part of the reason that TV shows will do this with characters in position of power is when we watch a character we relate to be like shitty in a righteous, in control of themselves way, it feels like we have that power. See like Dr. House be shitty to a patient. It's like, oh, well, Dr. House is our guy. That's our POV character. So we kind of get to feel that like righteous sense of power too. I think that is the kind of scene that this is like playing on.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like we see later that Steven is a bit of a fuck ass. In this scene, it definitely feels like he just walked in to apply for a job and fucking Mike the Snake is just like, and go fuck yourself, by the way, for applying for a job. Like, fuck his drag,
completely.
You know?
100%. It feels especially clear here what that kind of scene does, because this is like specifically a boss talking to a prospective employee. Like the power imbalance is so obvious. And it's just got me thinking about how this type of scene, the like righteous going off on an underling, is just a way to get people to side with authority even when they're doing bad things.
Hell yeah.
Because you kind of think like, man, that must feel so good, you know, to be snarky to the crime victim who you're taking a report from or whatever. And this, I want to say this comes back, this theme a little bit later. I don't remember how. So do you have any thoughts on this scene or should I move on?
I think take us on.
Okay, next up. Oh, yes, this is how it comes up. Awesome. This is Sheriff Frank Truman. He is in someone else's office. I don't remember why.
Hawks.
Yeah, he's in Hawks' office.
Tell us why. I feel like maybe the assumption is to hide from his wife. Maybe.
Oh yeah. So Lucy buzzes Frank on the intercom to say like, your wife is here. She went to your office, but you weren't there, and now she's walking down the hallway to find you where you are, which is Hawks' office. His wife comes in. Her name is Doris, and gives, oh my God, a really exquisite performance. I should also say that this is set up by
a phenomenal Lucy moment.
But also Frank is on the phone with Harry at this point, checking in with him, and he says, Doris is coming. You hang tough, Harry, implying that everyone knows that Doris is a bitch, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
She comes in, Doris, and gives probably my second favorite performance. There's some really great performances this episode. Maybe one of the best in this episode. It would be like the craziest thing in a given episode of I Think You Should Leave.
Mm-hmm.
She is completely playing the sort of bitch wife archetype, but in such a played up way. I'm just gonna read this. Dwight's got diarrhea. The twins are coming this weekend. He got in the upper cupboard again, and I am not going another day with a leaking pipe. It soaked the pantry floor, and we're gonna get that. And then she holds her hands above her head. Black mold, Frank.
I really love the nondescript he got in the upper cupboard again.
Yeah, Dwight, I guess. Is Dwight their son?
I think it might. My guess is it's like it feels like a separate he. It feels like their cat or dog or something.
Oh, I like that. Anyway, so this is another one of those things where like the archetypal setup of the scene is like the quiet stoic gentleman versus the nagging bitch wife. And so you are meant to obviously empathize with Frank, the sheriff. But if you listen to what she's saying, it all would be sincerely extremely frustrating. There's a leak in her kitchen. She has to like stay at home because her husband didn't call her the car's fixed. She can't spend all day watching a bucket. She can't spend all day watching a bucket. And like, no, that would suck to spend all day watching a bucket. I really, really like this. And I really like that his response is like, well, can we buy a bigger bucket? And she says, oh, so I can spend money on a new bucket that we'll never use again, but I can't spend money on that new rug that I really like. Is that it?
Yeah, it's really, we both keep saying it's, oh my God, what's his name?
Tim Robinson.
I was like, Tom Robinson. That's not right. We both keep saying it's Tim Robinson. I think it is really making me realize how much Tim Robinson's work is pulling from David Lynch in how it deploys its comedy and its surreality, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And there's also the same core of empathy in his stuff.
Yeah.
Like this scene only works, I think, because Doris's complaints are would sincerely be super frustrating.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this would just be a regular bitch wife type scene. But no, there's more to it than that.
Well, and it really is interesting how it, again, feels like, the product placement. Like we've had a bunch of scenes that have been doing this so far that are like, hey, we're going to take a like harmful trope from television and just do it so like stilted and dialed up and like show it to you to make you be like, huh, that's kind of weird. Why does TV do that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, totally.
Yeah.
I had such a blast with this. I hope she is in every episode. I hope she joins the force, frankly.
Hell yeah. With her big bucket.
And the rug. Okay, should I take this next one?
Hell yeah. Oh, this one's really good.
I know, I know. Okay, so this is Janey-E, Sonny Jim Jones, and Dale as Dougie, heading out of their house in the morning, taking Sonny Jim to school, taking Dale to work. As they're leaving the house, Janey-E like takes Coop aside and says, I counted the money. It's $425,000. I forget the specifics. You talked about it in the recap, but basically you need to repay that big debt today, right?
Yes.
But the thing that I'm mostly interested in this scene is obviously Dale is in sort of a catatonic type state. Like he didn't tie up his tie and she's like a little exasperated about that. But the thing that makes her actually acknowledge it is the one not weird thing that Dale does in the scene, which is that he looks at his sweet precious son through the car window and he sheds a single tear thinking about this sweet child. This is what makes Janey-E take him by the shoulders and go, okay, Dougie, you're acting weird as shit. Because what kind of weird freakish dad loves his son? Am I right?
Yeah, it's funny. My note was like, someone says it, but it is really pointed that it's this that makes her say it and not everything else he's been doing.
Yeah, like almost all of his weird behavior is just brushed past or treated as like a mild annoyance. And this is the thing that deserves mentioning. That's kind of the scene. Oh yeah, so now his car is missing. Janey-E's like, where is your car? Anyway. And that seems like a bigger deal, right?
So I want to ask, like, what about looking at Sonny Jim sitting kind of bored looking in the car makes Dale cry?
That's a really good question. Honestly, somehow had not occurred to me. This is kind of one of the only people who has treated him with kindness since he got back on Earth. And I mean, it makes me sad, definitely, to think about like this small, young, vulnerable person is the only one kind of acting like a human being. I wonder if there's some sort of deep memory about Laura here and just about like the terrible things that can happen to young people who don't deserve it.
Yeah. It definitely feels like that's part of it. It's like also like this is the only time we've seen Sonny Jim looking kind of like dead-eyed and bored and not like happy about Dougie being there and like doing stuff for him. I don't know if it's also Dale being like, damn, like having a suppressed but coming through like, damn, I was in the Black Lodge for 25 years. I couldn't have a kid.
Sure.
It's very opaque, but it does really hit, I think, and like is such a little like this and like him kind of caressing the lawman statue at the end. I don't know. It's a real like moment of real pathos in what is otherwise such a goofy Dougie storyline, you know?
I totally agree. Oh, yeah, this is sad. Anyway, I think you have the next one, eh?
Yeah, so the next little scene, again, a lot of just like bang 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 short scenes. Which is basically just those two hitmen keep circling the block and going, I don't know, his car's still there. And a group of, I believe they are credited as punks. A group of punks also drives by and are like, a car's sitting there. At first, I thought that this was two separate groups of hitmen, and one of them was just blasting music because they're bad hitmen. But I believe the second group is just like local delinquents, the punks that are like, we can steal that car, which, as we know, does not work out for them later.
They're listening to the most insane music I've ever heard. I feel like I need to mention that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they're blasting metal, basically.
It's like Bizarro World to Nine Inch Nails kind of a thing. I don't have any words. It's David Lynch's music sensibilities will never cease to amaze me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I have two things to say. One, I just gotta say, if I was a hired hitman to kill a guy, I would just, at this point, like break into the house.
Yeah, right?
Just do your due diligence, guys. Don't keep circling the block.
Go around the back. I don't know, like it feels like in this neighborhood it would not be difficult.
Well, actually, the other thing I have to say about that neighborhood, because I remember last time you were saying like this place is all empty and it does have the energy of like post 2008. Had you talked about all the foreclosure signs? I forget.
Oh, I don't think I even noticed
Okay,
those.
so yeah, I only noticed that here, but like nearly every house on the block has a sign that's like, for sale, bank owned, foreclosed.
Damn.
Which I think actually really speaks to what you were saying last time about like, you know, there was this like vision of wealthy suburban lifestyle, which has now become impossible. Feels very post 2008. And like literally all these houses are empty and have been foreclosed. And like, it feels like probably the mom across the street is like squatting in there. And like, this is the only one that we see people going into and out of. And that's because it is a like outcall house, you know?
Totally.
Like people just can't afford this lifestyle anymore. And like the vibe of the return is like, we're living in the like skeletons of this dead dream.
Completely.
I like really like that as a little detail. I think that goes pretty hard.
I appreciate that they don't make it more, like they don't underline it more. You can just kind of notice it because it's there.
Yeah.
I'll mention this now. In the next scene in this neighborhood, when the car explodes, there's a family that comes out from across the street, like out of their house, to check out what's happening. It's like 3 kids, teenagers. The windows on that house are boarded up. It also feels like they this like just totally, you know, neighborhood family, but like they are also probably squatting here. Yeah, that is a little detail that made me very sad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Garmin Bosia.
The Garmin Bosia, no kidding. Anyway, what happens next with Dougie, Lily?
Yeah, okay, party time. So Coop like walks straight out of the car. Janey-E drops him off, does not close the door, walks in a straight line and finds a statue at the center of this like plaza in front of his office. It is a guy with, you said a lawman. I read him, I wasn't sure how to read this guy's outfit. He's like just kind of normal, halfway to cowboy looking dude pointing a gun.
It definitely feels to me like kind of the sheriff archetype.
Oh, well, shit. Okay, well, that explains why he's so attached to it. Okay, yes, I'm totally down with that. He just like sort of stands and stares at it for a little while. Then he makes it inside and just stands in the lobby a while longer. And here I kind of notice, hey, no one else is wearing bright green suits.
Yes. I've noticed, like, Dougie is the only one who's trying to fucking master of disguise his way into the Turtle Club.
And yeah, after standing there for a while, a young guy whose name is Phil, who's carrying 8 coffees, goes, off in dreamland again, eh, Dougie? And he kind of guides him into the elevator. Inside the elevator, oh, I love my life. Coop just like looks at this enormous stack of coffees that Phil is holding and goes, coffee, sort of like he's saying it backwards. It's like odd, the delivery. Phil goes, oh, sorry, I didn't get you one. I didn't even know if you were going to be here today. And Coop just wants it so much. So he gives him Frank's coffee and he starts drinking it and like moaning and sort of like making out with the coffee and goes, damn good, Joe, with like a sincere comfort that I think is beautiful. There are a few things I think to comment on in this scene. Do you want to talk about the episodes thing?
Yeah, I have a couple things to talk about here. So yeah, that is definitely one of them. That, like, you know, when he's like, what? Like, Janey-E is like, you're having one of your episodes again, which implies that the way Dougie is acting is a way he has been before and has been like, that was one of my episodes. I guess new Dougie fact for sure. I'm adding this one to the list, to the Dougie facts.
Has episodes.
Yeah. Okay, there are 2 other things I want to say, which are actually pieces of trivia from the Twin Peaks fan wiki. Actually, one of them I'll save for when we meet Frank, and the other, I'm just going to read this paragraph straight up because it's very funny to me. Upon release, I think I mentioned this earlier, but Twin Peaks: The Return earned some criticism for earning the Empty Cup Award, a satirical achievement for television series where actors handle coffee cups that are claimed to be full, but are very clearly empty based on how they're handled by the performers. In the case of this episode, however, Kyle MacLachlan was given some praise for being the sole actor to handle his cup as though it were actually full, especially in an episode where a character, Phil Bisbee, unrealistically balances 2 full trays of coffee while running around. The empty cup persnicketers have high praise for Kyle, but none for Phil, who I recognize the actor as the like student camera guy from that one episode of Better Call Saul.
That's what I know him from. Holy shit, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I guess the fact that Phil also says off in dreamland again, Dougie feel like
yes,
suggests that he is just known, a bit of a known space cadet, or like people recognize that something is off with him, but not enough to give him grace or like notice meaningfully when stuff is wrong. Like he's about to enter this meeting where people just treat him like he's a normal guy who's being an asshole.
And of course the dreamland of it all. Ding ding, ring the bell, alert, you know?
Oh yeah.
There's something about how he's just being pushed around that's like, that's the fate of a TV show character, is to be puppeted around by plot, you know? Like, he doesn't have motivations except for when, you know, the characters around him push him into them. And that's, you know, like when a TV show character doesn't really have motivations except for what the plot gives them, it feels like it's in conversation with that. Anyway, so the thing he gets pushed into is a meeting.
I'm so sorry. I have actually realized that I have a couple more thoughts on this. So what you say about him being pushed around, it also makes me think of being a child. Right? Like when your life is just totally at the whims of others. People are frustrated that they cannot like more effectively use him to their ends. And they're just kind of shuffling him around from one place to another, and he doesn't know what any of this shit is.
And honestly, it also really makes me think, I know the first time I watched this, I was really thinking, especially after the like whole Mr. Jackpot sequence, Mr. Jackpot sequence of like, it feels very like this is also the experience of aging and like disability or like senility, you know? But yeah, I think it's definitely doing all that.
Janey-E's frustration with Dougie as he gets out of the car also makes me think Dougie's position is in quite a few ways tied to Laura, I think.
Interesting.
Like, I'm noticing how Janey-E and Dougie, there's definitely like the trappings of a loving life there, but she mostly seems exasperated by him. You know, like they have a house and a kid, and that led me to maybe think that it was a happy home life at first, but she just seems to mostly feel bitterly toward him and not really act with care or kindness. And that is like very much a Leland Palmer kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. And like definitely I would say fairly bitter. If my husband disappeared for 3 days and then came back with a bunch of gambling winnings, I would be like, girl, what the fuck? You know?
Yes, I definitely agree. It is not like morally on the same level as Leland Palmer, for sure. But there is like the same kind of yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe I'll get it more specific as we go.
So the thing he's getting pushed to in this instance is an insurance meeting. There are a couple of things here. As he's like getting pushed in, one of the insurance people to the others like, "Did you get my note?" She's like, "Tell your wife," which is just such a like high school moment.
Yeah.
Then he sits down, and Frank is like, "Oh no, my coffee," and young Phil is like, "Oh, Dougie really wanted it." And listen, we know Frank never finished his coffee, and he's like cranky about it, but takes a green tea anyway. But then as he drinks it, his face lights up. He loves the green tea, actually, and it was only because of Dougie's action that he discovered how much he loves green tea latte. It's so funny.
It feels like another like Dougie blessing.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. And then into the meeting proper, as the boss comes over and slams the table or like, claps it. It's like, all right, let's get started. And first up is Anthony Sinclair, who's like, we're just going to have to pay out this claim to this fire at this place. And the boss is like, I thought it was arson. He's like, no, it's totally legit. And then there's a green flash on his face that at first I thought was just going to be like a reflection or something from Dougie's insane blazer. But no, it's some kind of sign from the spirits, because Dougie utters his first phrase that is not just a repetition of something someone else has said. He's lying. The fucking straight from the spirits on that one. And the guy's like, what are you saying? And I have to say, I'm going to say it. This guy, Anthony Sinclair, sounds ominously Italian-American.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Fuck, that's so funny.
Like, they really make a point to have him like deliver his lines like, you better, I'm not, like, it's not over the top.
You talking to me?
He is kind of, he's not
more subtly than
he's
that.
He's like 45% to that, but it's definitely there. He is talking like a character in The Sopranos. So just something to watch out for, perhaps. Yeah. And actually, here's the other thing that I was going to say about my other trivia from the Twin Peaks fan wiki, which is that Frank, who to quote the wiki, discovers he likes green tea lattes, is played by Bob Stevenson, who was a burger cook in the background of the Double R Diner way back in episode 6 of the first season, which at the time was his first ever acting gig. So that's fun.
Wait, sorry, this was Frank, you said?
Yeah.
I thought he was a Renault brother. He looks strikingly like a Renault brother.
I mean,
that would have been crazy, considering that actor did come back as a bartender in the Roadhouse. But
no, yeah. Okay, wait, no, it's not him, but he does kind of look like him. I agree, but that would have been really funny if like David Lynch is like, yeah, bring him back as a different Renault, and also Frank. No, he is a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah, do you have more in like the scene before we go to the boss's office?
I really love the the visual effect of the green blink on the face. Like, it's so subtle, but it's also so, for me at least, like I immediately read it as, oh, this is a signal, I take this as a sign that Dougie is growing in his like capacity for action, for independent action, because this was almost something meaningful. I'm sure this guy is in fact lying.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dougie did not currently have the ability to follow through on that claim. But maybe he will get there. Is Dale ever going to be normal?
He could get normal, and he's so close to getting there this episode. He could get normal at any time. We have no way of knowing.
I wonder what would do it.
Well, I'll tell you what gets close to doing it but doesn't is he gets brought into his office, and his boss is like, now listen, he's our best agent. I'm gonna make you study these case files, which I forgot to say at the top, but is the alternate name of this episode, case files. And Dougie's like, oh, agent, case files. Oh my God, it's gonna do it. It's gonna break. Oh, no, never mind. Nope. Another false start for Dougie Dale. So yeah, they like bring him into the office. I really love that it takes like two of them to like bring him in by the arms. And this boss is just like, oh, classic Dougie. The boss is like, close the door behind you. And they go to close the door with them in it. And then he's like, on your way out. And they, like, Phil Bisbee does a little like spin and then leaves and closes it behind them. Just a great little dumb joke.
Great detail.
I also really love, it tells us so much about this like old insurance boss guy that he has his own younger boxing poster on the wall above his desk. Tougher than the rest, Bushnell battling Bud Mullins in 4 furious rounds. Like, tells us so much about this guy that he's like, and everyone should know that I was the best boxer in the 60s or 50s, you know?
Wait, is this, you think that this is a poster of him?
Yes, we know that his name is Bushnell Mullins. It's the name on his office door.
Oh my God.
Yes,
okay, I just thought this was like someone he idolized.
No,
That's
this
so
is him.
crazy.
He's like, I've always been a fighter, and I'm fighting at Lucky 7 Insurance. And I'll knock you out of the ring if you come for me. Like,
I love that it is a like Los Angeles insurance company with a gambling themed name.
It's so funny. Also, you mean Las Vegas, but yes, no,
yes,
it is.
Yes, I do.
It is really funny. And I gotta say,
Mrs. Stupid.
No, Mrs. Lovely. I gotta say, it never stops being funny to me. Every time when he's like, wait, case files, oh my God, and then they just keep going. Every time it has happened, it has gotten funnier. I really
also like when he repeats the word game, how Mullins says to him like, oh, you want to play a game? Let's play a game. This is a really specific trope that I really love. The only other time I can like immediately recall it being used is there's an episode of BoJack Horseman where they abduct like a semi-feral chicken who does not speak, only goes bok bok, but like gets through several conversations just by that, because people like what's your name? Bok baka. Like, oh, your name is Becca. Who's your favorite composer? Bok Bok, not Vivaldi. It's just like they make like 12 of those jokes. It mostly makes me sad that he's been taken as competent but difficult, but in this particular case I think it's very funny.
Yeah. Of course, the only logical point for a scene right after that is to cut immediately to him standing in the hallway being like, fuck, I don't know how to pee and I have to pee so bad.
No.
Oh no. Fortunately a anonymous beautiful young coworker is like, oh, what's wrong, Dougie? Can't get into the men's room? I'll let you into the ladies. Which everyone around him is so happy to speak in full sentences in a way that accounts for the fact that he is saying nothing. It is like people talking to a Pokemon. Like,
oh my God.
And then as she's gonna let him in, she like bites her lip and she's like, you know, I was thinking I might let you kiss me now, handsome, which is crazy. One, she's really like, oh, he doesn't know how to pee and can't talk. I can't not fuck him. And like he goes in and does his like, oh, at peeing. And she's like, oh, Dougie, he's just so cute. But also the like, I'll let you kiss me now. Maybe new Dougie fact, he was trying to, like he made an advance at his coworker in the past.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of ambiguous. Huh.
Which is shitty if he did.
Yes, definitely. But she is also the same one who was being flirted with in that previous scene.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And going like, you so-and-so your wife. It feels very conspicuous that the only people who are nice to Dale or will entertain him are the young people, right? Sonny Jim, the Phil guy, her, who's like, she's probably like 30 or so. I love that she does not want to sleep with the normal man who has a wife, but is down to sleep with Green Dale who has to pee.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. And like if Dougie before all this was also making advances at her, this feels like I'm like adding this to my idea of like, is Dougie somehow mix of like incompetence or like vulnerable desires that Mr. C wanted to like excise from himself? This isn't a fully put together thought, but I keep thinking about this the more we learn about him, about Dougie, you know?
I feel like there has to be something there. There has to be. Yeah.
It must have been crazy, by the way, to be Kyle MacLachlan. You walk into work and you're like, yes, it's time to be Dale Cooper once again in Twin Peaks. And then, no, you are either the most evil version of Dale Cooper in the world or this guy stumbling around being like, and I don't know how to pee. Like, the fact that he's playing both of these guys is crazy and must have been crazy to go back and forth.
It is, now that you mentioned it, kind of unbelievably bold to take like the famous beloved guy and not let him be normal for a single second.
No, he's just two like opposite types of fucking weirdos.
Like, it feels so obvious that what people would have wanted from a third season of Twin Peaks is like Dale faces off against the evil.
Yeah.
Dale drinks coffee and wears his shiny, beautiful black suit. I can't believe how deep we are into this. And like, even the moments where Dale has simply been Dale when he was in the Black Lodge, he is powerless and charmless and just sort of like adrift.
Yeah. No, it's so much fun. Anyway, what happens next?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it's not, this world may be pretty dark, but at least we can watch Brett Gelman get kicked.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are at the Silver Mustang Casino, which is the place that Dale won $425,000. This is the payoff of the pit boss, whose name I forget. Do you remember? Burns? Is it Burns? Pit boss? Brett Gelman's character, how he was going like, oh, I'm dead, they're gonna kill me. So he's like standing with a lot of his stuff in this like security camera like surveillance room, and a couple mobby kind of guys walk in. They're big mad. They ask, how much money did this guy take again? The like assistant manager dude nervously says $425,000. Mob guy gives Brett Gelman's dude, I'm just gonna keep calling him that, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna remember Burns,
it's fine.
A big ol' whack in the face, and then asks again. He repeats it. He knocks him over, kicks him in the ribs, I guess. It's kind of actually off screen, just kicks him over and over and over really brutally. And you get this like crunchy sound effect that makes me think like bones are being broken. And it goes on for so long, and everyone is just still and watching, including three beautiful entertainers who've just come to like, I just come in to watch. Like, I don't understand how this is pertinent to them at all. They're just like kind of leaning against the wall.
Lily, it all makes sense. These are the two mob guys. This is the first of several characters in this episode whose names we only know because of the credits. They're credited. One of them, who, by the way, is fucking Jim Belushi. And the other one is Robert Nepper, who's been in like Prison Break and various other things. But Jim Belushi's a pretty big grab.
Is he? I thought he was kind of famously not considered a very good actor.
Yeah, but he's like everyone knows Jim Belushi. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, they are Rodney and Bradley Mitchum, and they're the Mitchum brothers, the mob Mitchum brothers, and they have their three babes, who are credited as
these are their babes.
Candy, Mandy, and Sandy. I mean, they sure enter and leave with them. The vibe is really like, we're the Mitchum brothers. We run this town. There's two of us, and we have our three girlfriends. And they all dress in their dancers' outfits, because we got our dancers. Candy, Mandy, and Sandy, they come with us everywhere we go. Let's go.
1.5 per capita.
Exactly. Let's go, girls. Like, it's the vibe is crazy.
Yeah. One of them, they seem like kind of bored. One of them just kind of makes like a little wavy worm gesture with her hand that she watches.
It's really good. It's really good.
They honestly feel, most of all, like the pop star in Megalopolis who can clone herself. It's a great movie. Yeah, I guess my main thing here. Oh yeah, so Brett Gellman loses his job. The job is given to like nervous assistant manager dude. That's the main thing plot wise. They're just told like keep an eye out if you ever see this guy again. Yeah, and that's about it.
I love your note that you have of like everyone's just watching.
Yeah,
I think that is something that actually is really will continue to be important throughout the rest of this episode.
it's true. I mean, in this exact room, it's very much expected. Like, okay, when you're watching your boss get beat up by the mob who run this place, you don't intervene because you don't want to get killed. But it does feel like a lot of people in the show are just seeing terrible things and not doing anything in general. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to say is when we first arrived in this scene, like just dozens and dozens of security feeds, like 4 dedicated people just watching the feeds, it really felt to me like a government, like a CIA office or something, more than a casino.
Yeah, totally.
The sophistication of this whole system really looks a little closer to like the big supercomputer at the police station, you know? That feels like something too in terms of like just drawing a link sort of between those two overarching forces, private and public,
absolutely. You know? Shall I take us to the next one?
Please do.
Okay, so we now get the follow-up on everyone who's interested in Dougie's car. So we have the kid across the street who we met a couple episodes ago with the mom doing the like 119, and he's interested in Dougie's car, and specifically he saw that guy put that thing under it, and he goes up to it to see what it could be. But just as he's about to, the punks show up, and they're like, "Get out of here, kid. We're going to steal this car." And they get in there, and they turn it on, and it explodes.
No.
I really like how, like, when we cut back to it exploding, they're just not in the frame, you know?
Yes. I honestly thought they
got like
evaporated.
Vapor, yeah. But they sure do give us like a full like burning corpse shot.
Yeah.
And the kid like runs back and goes home and is watching it from across the street. And then we get this like another crazy weird like 2 seconds of music. It's just like 2 seconds of this like big like brass like ominous music sting at the end. Yeah, what do you have to say about this one?
The way the kid like obviously runs away from the danger, but then also goes to observe it from the window. It feels like the window is kind of doing a TV thing, right?
Yeah,
the way
absolutely.
that he's just totally passively observing everything. And they don't have a TV in this house. They don't really have anything but the couch. In terms of like the violence expanding outward, the fact that even a child is like interested, like fascinated in it, feels like that's kind of sad, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think like the violence and the spectacle and people entranced watching it, definitely going to come back to that in like the Roadhouse scene later.
Ooh, yes, 100%. Totally agree.
But yeah, lots of like in and out scenes, including this next one.
Yeah, okay, this next one is Jade, who we know because she is the one who dropped Dougie at the casino, is getting her car like, I don't know, like some kind of maintenance or something. She walks up to the mechanic to pick it up, and he says to her, "Hey, Jade," something like, "Do you have a John in Washington State?" To which I have to wonder, why does her mechanic know that she's a sex worker?
Listen, they're friends. They talk.
Okay, yeah, I guess they're friendly. Anyway, so he pulls out those keys that Dougie/Dale had dropped that led to him not getting assassinated. It is a key for the Great Northern, right? Like it's a hotel room key.
Yeah.
She gives it a look, I think says like, "Oh, Dougie," and then drops it in the mailbox.
Yeah.
I don't think this is how mail works, but I'm assuming that this is like TV logic. It will get mailed back to the Great Northern.
Yeah, it does say like if found mailed to da-da-da.
Yeah, but it's not like there's a stamp on there.
Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, I'm going to preemptively respond to your note of what was Dougie doing at the Great Northern. I think this is Dale's old key. Because we saw he didn't like go into Dougie's body, right? He like Dougie got sucked into the Black Lodge and he went out.
Of course.
Like hence his new haircut and suit and everything. So I think this is
You're definitely right.
Dale's key to his room from 25 years ago.
Yes, that's got to be it. You're totally right.
But very fun to think about where that could go and what it could trigger.
Yeah, the show keeps giving us new locations, and
yeah,
it's actually only sort of in the next scene that we spend some substantial time in like the town of Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking forward to it. But before then, do we want to take a break and come back with Tales from the Log?
I would love that.
Me too. Okay, we'll be right back.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. It's Sadie, and I'm here to tell you about our beautiful Patreon TSTV.show. You know all about it if you've been listening, because you're either on it or I tell you about it every episode. We have literally so many movies and movie episodes on there. Most recently, we did The Red Shoes, which has the best 20-minute surreal ballet sequence you have ever seen in your entire life. It might be like the best 20 minutes of cinema ever made. After that, we're doing David Lynch's most strangely horny film, Blue Velvet. And after that, we just might exclusively cover the upcoming Jane Schoenbrunn film, Camp Miasma? Miasma? You decide. And we also might do Picnic at Hanging Rock, which honestly I don't know anything about because I haven't seen it yet. But all to say, there's like 10 million movie episodes on it. They're all really good. You should go give us $3 and listen to them. Thank you very much. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Bye.
And we are back with Tales from the Log.
I like the spin you gave that one.
Thank you, Sadie. Who's not in this episode?
Yeah, who is not in this episode? Let me check what we did last time. I think it was last time we were like doing Ed and Nadine, which we got the tiniest update on this episode.
Oh, huge. I love it. We don't have Ben Horn. We still haven't seen Audrey.
Yeah.
Finally get some Shelley and Norma, which I love.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a question.
Uh-huh.
I recently realized we started watching the show almost 2 years ago, so I'm a little fuzzy on some of the older details. Is Hank dead? Did he die? Did he go to jail? What happened?
Damn, that's a good question. Let me see.
Thank you.
Hank, last we saw, was in jail. There are things that I think are things from like the books that Mark Frost wrote that are out there. But the last we saw him was when he was in jail and Norma was like, give me a divorce. And was like, I'd rather be Ed's whore than your wife. And he was like, no! And he was in jail.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. We still don't know what's up with Donna or Donna's parents. There was that whole... It's so funny. I'm realizing the deeper we get into this that several things that were set up in season 2 will simply never be paid off, like the who is Donna's real father thing. We're never gonna talk about that again.
That's a great point. I mean, listen, that we could tell us from the log that if we want.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Oh, actually, okay. There's something that's somewhat relevant to that, and if we wanted to do Audrey, but could be relevant to this potentially. We're going to have a scene near the end of this episode in which there's a really rapey man. No one says that character's name. His name is in the credits. I don't know if you caught it.
No, I did not.
He is credited as Richard Horn.
Whoa. Wait, Richard Horn. Like...
Yeah.
Wait.
That's not Audrey's brother. This is, we have not heard of a Richard Horn before now.
Oh my god. And he appears to be like in his 20s to me, I guess. Oh my god. What the hell? Okay, so I guess this could have been Ben having another kid with someone else, but that doesn't seem that likely to me. No, because he would have had to have been... How the hell does this work? He reads as like maybe my age, like late 20s to me. He would have had to have been alive during the second season. Unless he's like one of those like teenagers who's actually played by a 30-year-old.
Yeah, that's I think that is definitely plausible, just TV show wise, you know?
That's true.
Like, I think we're to believe that Steven from earlier and like Amanda Seyfried are also both like 18 or whatever, you know?
Okay, sure.
Now, I say this because if we do think that Ben Horn is Donna's dad, then maybe that plays into it, but I don't know.
Yeah, but how?
I have no idea. I don't want to. I don't want to derail you from doing a Donna one. I was gonna save this until we actually like met the guy, but it feels relevant now to your speculation.
Wow, that just raises like a million questions.
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay, well let's start spinning a little yarn about Donna, and we'll see if we can rope this guy in somehow. What's his name? What horn?
Richard.
Okay.
Audrey's brother is Johnny, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Okay. This is not it. But what if Johnny was somehow pulled into the Black Lodge, and he also got an evil doppelganger who entered the real world 25 years later, and it's Richard. That's not it. That's not it, because they're different actors.
Mm-hmm.
Can you nudge me along here? I could use a storytelling partner in this one.
Yeah. Okay, I guess if we're doing Donna, let's say she did. It sure seems like the conclusion was that Ben Horn is her dad.
Yeah.
What does she do with that?
I mean, the knowledge that Ben Horn has become like something of a decent guy, and that has like stuck, makes me wonder. What if with time the wounds heal? And I know that like fully Donna's dad attacked Ben in the season 2 finale, but what if eventually they just realize their true, like how things are really meant to be, is that they're all meant to be
they're soulmates?
Yeah, the three of them. And I know that Ben is married, but I think his wife is just totally, there it is, yes, thrown by the wayside. She is abandoned.
Or I think honestly, her divorcing him would make sense as a like, and this is how you hit rock bottom and really reform or whatever.
Yeah. So I think they break up, and she is so angry toward him that she decides to adopt an evil son.
She goes to the orphanage where they got little Nicky, who, as we all know, was the devil from the Bible, and said, give me one of your other evil kids.
I'm giving him the last name Horn specifically to ruin my ex-husband's reputation.
Yeah, so this is our tales from the log. This is what's been happening over the last 25 years. Ben Horn got divorced and entered a throuple with Donna's parents, and Audrey's mom, whose name I think it was Sylvia, actually. Sylvia Horn, adopts an evil son to get back at Ben. Yeah, we got there.
Yeah, we got there. Awesome. That's Tales from the Log.
Tales from the Log.
We always get there.
Absolutely.
Should I take this next one?
Yeah. Oh, I just noticed another returning character that I didn't clock initially.
Toad?
No, Heidi.
Oh, Heidi's in this one?
Apparently, Norma sorts through documents as Heidi is serving, and frankly, she's always serving.
Yeah, okay. It's Norma time. It's Norma time, baby.
Yeah,
Norma's back.
Queen.
Norma and Shelley, best friends forever. Their relationship is one of the few wholesome things in this whole episode.
Oh my God, wait. Oh, I do see Heidi in the background. Oh, she's older. That's very sweet.
Yeah. But we can't forget about Toad. There's also a mention of Toad. I forget who Toad was in the original show.
Okay, so here's the thing. I believe the current state of the lore is that this is a different Toad.
Because he looks 50 years older and much different.
So the original Toad, who I don't know if I said this when we first did it, but his name, according to the wiki, is Thaddeus Toad Barker. He was like, he was a guy who I think mainly just never tipped. We were like, oh, Toad never tips, but he was always there.
Okay.
Now, in the shooting script of Fire Walk With Me, the double R cook is called Toad.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if that was in the final movie. I really like this line from the wiki. He seems to be unrelated to the customer Toad. The name similarity may come from the fact that Lynch forgot about the previous character while making the movie.
That rules. I love that the notion that he would independently name two guys Toad. That's just like a name that he likes.
Really, really good. And he is here played by Marv Rosen, who actually this episode is dedicated to because he died in September 2015.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, and yeah, he was never called Toad out loud, like on screen, until here. In my mind, it's the same Toad. In my mind, Toad was so in love with their food that he decided to start making it.
Hashtag always my Toad.
Yes, always my Toad.
Okay, anyway, the big insane, just phenomenal reveal here. This is so crazy. Who walks in but Amanda Seyfried?
Yeah, who, by the way, in my summary recap, I called her Amanda Siegfried.
I did
notice
that.
That is not her name. I would like to issue a formal apology to Amanda Seyfried.
Is it Seyfried?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to be saying her name a lot. Let me look it up. Did I already tell you about... Okay, Seyfried.
Wait, no, that's not. Hold on. I feel like reading phonetic pronunciations is always fucked up.
Yeah, if you don't know everything, which I do.
Her name is not Seyfried. What?
It could be like Steve Buscemi thing where it's actually Buscemi, but no one gets it right.
Wait, what? His name is Steve Buscemi?
It's
no, you're fucking with me.
I wish I came up with this independently, but no.
That's crazy.
Okay, can I screen share with you for a second?
Yes, yeah, take it over. Such a funny thing for us to do an aside.
This is really truly such an aside, but it's the other day I was looking how to pronounce the last name. I was looking how to pronounce. Doesn't matter. I was.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I opened it and I started playing the first No, I hit pause, but the first based on the first 0.2 seconds of this video, it's gonna be a crazy one. I think we have to keep all this in now.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I need to give some context. I recently hired the artist George Uthwaite to make some art for my YouTube channel. And I wasn't sure how to pronounce that name, so I looked up how to pronounce Uthwaite, and this is the video that came up. It's posted by Run for the Cube Pronunciation. Great title. And has 300 views and it's from 9 years ago. And how to pronounce Brian Uthwaite is what it's called.
Okay.
Take it away.
Brian Uthwaite. Brian Uthwaite.
Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that such a banger?
I see your comment. I've
Nice.
definitely encountered these channels that do pronunciation things and just lie about it, but that's really, really funny.
It's a good one, right? It's a good bit.
Oh,
also, to do
funny.
This about someone named Brian Uthwaite for an audience of 300 people. He's still at it, by the way.
That's so funny. Brian Uthwaite is not a guy. I just Googled Brian Uthwaite. There's no actor or whatever. The top result is Brian Uthwaite is a highly experienced acting for the prosecution and defense across the span of criminal law, including murder and firearms offenses at bankhousechambers.co.uk, the oldest independent set of chambers outside London.
I'm looking for a dependent set of chambers, but I guess I'll keep looking.
Okay, we need to fucking talk about Twin Peaks.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Amanda. What the how? Okay, I did not learn how to pronounce her name.
Okay, hold on. Amanda Seyfried pronunciation. I'm gonna
Let's watch this together.
Yeah, I'm putting Firefox back on screen. Here we are. Amanda Seyfried. Okay, she's gonna say it in this video.
Amanda Seyfried.
It is Amanda Seyfried. That's crazy. Damn.
Seyfried.
Fuck me, I guess. Anyway.
Fuck all of us.
So she shows up.
Yeah, she is Becky, and she shows up at the counter and she asks Shelley to borrow some money. Shelley is like a little bit distraught.
She's like Shelley's daughter, right? Is what the conclusion I'm drawing.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I wasn't sure. I figured they were related in some way.
And because we did see her being like, my daughter is dating the wrong guy.
Oh, Oh, yes. Okay, so this is that payoff.
I
Totally.
assume so.
No, that makes perfect sense. Anyway, Shelley is like sort of exasperated, but she gives her the money. She leaves, and Becky like gets in the car with her boyfriend, who is the one who really fucked up that job interview earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that in a second, but for now, Norma is looking at all this with concern, and she comes up to the counter and tells Shelley, if you don't help her now, it's going to get a lot harder to help her later.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly is so much more compassionate than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, we know that these two are at their core good people and that they really care about each other. But this show so far has just been so, like, the world is so beaten down and bleak, and there's been so little kindness that this thing that just seems like a normal thing that a like mother figure would say to her daughter, who is also, you know, getting through this crazy life. I found it kind of touching, and I also don't really know what it means. Like, what does it mean to help
I think
her?
it means you're not helping her by giving her money so her and her like fuck ass boyfriend can buy drugs. And the more you put that off, the more trouble they will be in, and the harder it'll be to help her later. Is how I read that.
This makes sense.
When like Shelley's like, don't we both know that tune? It's because there is definitely it is the repetition of it, you know, like this is Shelley going off with Bobby, although different in, I think, pointed ways, but like obviously she sees herself there, and I think Norma sees that too, and is like, yeah, when you want, or not with Bobby, even like with Leo, who's obviously way worse, like, no, I didn't stop you from marrying Leo, and it got a lot harder to help you out of that later, when I maybe should have helped you by getting you to not do it or something.
I guess so. Yeah. Oh, I love these two. I've said it before, but I'm so happy they have each other.
I know. I really do. Yeah.
And this is the one thing, like, there's been a lot in the show of people sort of failing to break cycles and that kind of thing. And this is the one thing where I'm sincerely comforted by seeing them still at the diner working together. I'm like,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's where they belong.
It is definitely heartbreaking to see Shelley see her daughter, like, you know, having a similar thing of being with some fuck ass guy and being like, oh, I can't, you know, like, but seeing them together is really good. I also really love like the ways that the double R is different.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I mean, honestly, I think a big part of it is just like you can see cars going outside through the windows. Honestly, like a big part of it, like I feel like in the original run, when you were in the double R, you were just in there and there was not a sense of the world outside. And like, it might have just literally been like a lighting and like drawing the curtains more thing. But even just like double R did not feel like a place where you could see like an SUV drive past through the window, and now you can. And that like makes it feel so much more in the world.
I agree. Yeah, it's totally true.
And so much less like its own magical space that's totally cut off. And like the sound design too, like you can hear the chatter in the cars outside. It's much less like a stage play set that exists just off in its own little bubble, you know? I also really like Norma has framed next to her a like newspaper article saying like double R wins award for best takeout or something, which is really cute. Best local takeout.
Yeah, that is cute. They're so proud.
Yeah. And then we get kind of the immediate follow-up to that as Becky and Steven are out in his fucking crazy car.
Yes. Okay. First of all, it's doing something with the fact that like they're asking for money, but he has a really fancy car.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They talk about how they're gonna use the money to like go out for dinner. He actually, the boyfriend says, "I'm gonna take my girl out to dinner," when it's like that's her money that she just got.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I'm gonna be honest, I think they're spending it on drugs.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
but
I think that's definitely a big part of the general reason they don't have money. Anyway, they're sitting in the car for a second, and Becky is just like not impressed with this guy, you know, like definitely seems sort of exasperated or tense. Boyfriend Steven goes like, "Kiss me," and she does, but then she pulls away and just seems like distracted, you know. He tells her, this is so funny, you know, "Don't worry, like I'm good for the money, I'll pay her back, and besides, like things are looking up. I got some great fucking feedback today." And that's his way of spinning the humiliating job interview. I got some great feedback. That feels so true to like millennial American man grind set.
I mean, also just it's like it's Bobby, right? It's Bobby being like, no, I got the scheme. It's all working out.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
But also, like, it's really notable the ways he's not Bobby. You
Tell
know,
me.
he's all fucking ratty. Like, he looks like the image of a guy on drugs who's like not doing well. You know what I mean? Like,
It's true.
his fucking like he doesn't have the swagger. You know, like there's this is a vision of this guy in which like any romanticism to it is gone. He's not charming. He's not funny. He's not like able to put on his cool guy airs. He's just like
not.
little ratty mustache, shitty hair, like grimy looking guy who can't get a job and is taking his girlfriend's mom's money to buy drugs. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. He doesn't win us over the way Bobby does.
Yeah, the patina of romance on it is completely gone. Except for when it's back for a second, just for her.
Yeah. Okay, so he starts to try to charm her after noticing that she's sort of tense or distant. Goes like, I'll tell you all about it at dinner. And in between, I'll tell you how much I love you, and I'll tell you how beautiful you are, and I'll tell you about how sexy you are, and your tits, how majestic they are, and your ass, and so on and so on. And it's like, first of all, he could not name a single thing about her personality.
Yeah.
Bro, her mind. Second of all, after this, he turns the radio on, and it's the song playing. Oh man, and we get the coolest shot I've ever seen in my entire life. I love this next bit so much. So the song, it's like a bit of an oldies kind of poppy song that goes like, I love the way you miss me, I love how you love me. It's all about like loving a person because of how they make you think of yourself. They make you feel desired, you know? I love how you touch me. It's like, it feels like her eyes are like tracking the clouds or something, and she's dreaming, and she's like totally grinning, and it's completely aesthetically out of step with the whole rest of the episode. It's like so, yeah, like dreamy and hazy. And oh yeah, in between they've also like, she's also sniffed some coke, but I don't think that is at least entirely what's going on here. She's just like super smiley, and it seems like she's loving her life. And the shot goes on like, I don't know, 30 seconds, a full minute, like it really goes.
Yeah, they really hold it. I think it's really pointed that it's like, it's such a 50s song. It really is the David Lynch thing of, even in 2025, you know what everyone loves? Those songs from the 50s.
Yeah, they're on the radio all the time.
But also how like the only way that you can access this vision of kind of old Twin Peaks, the patina of romance of it all, is by like pretending your boyfriend isn't there and getting high. You know what I mean?
I like that read. My read on it was slightly different, but I feel like
tell me more.
They're compatible. So I feel like sort of what she's doing here is listening to the song and just getting to be like, you know, the girl in the fancy car driving on the open road. It feels like she's very much like idealizing or aestheticizing her life, and that's what allows her to enjoy it in this moment. Like she can think about how she is considered desirable, because that's what the song is too. And it just makes me think of how like when you are in a miserable relationship, kind of an understandable way to cope is to just idealize it into some, not just like this is okay, but actually this is wonderful and beautiful. I think of that lesbian couple in the comic What Happens Next. Is it Claire? I think the one whose little sister gets murdered, and her girlfriend. Claire is like a total fail daughter, just absolutely miserable and really struggling through life. And the only way her girlfriend manages is through these like, you know, Claire will just say, and I hope I'm not getting that name wrong, I'm garbage. I can't even believe you love me. And this girlfriend who's like sincerely not happy in the relationship, her response is only ever like, you're the only one I love. And like, you're amazing. You're wonderful. It's like treating, kind of dreaming about the relationship from a like sort of glossy distance. Also thinking about, I've probably talked about this a lot lately, but the like Pink Pantheresses album, Heaven Knows, also has a lot of this like talking about people like love interest in like these super ideal ways, describing like, oh, you just kind of like you light my fire type stuff. But then in such a like disaffected, distant, flat voice that it's like, oh, you're just kind of telling yourself this to cope. That's what this feels like to me. And I find it very relatable. Like I've definitely been there, you know?
No, definitely. And I think like how it's doing that as like the way that Shelley and Bobby's relationship could be romantic and the way you could see the world back in original run of Twin Peaks is only accessible now through that, like, you know, rose tinted glasses. I think it's really, really interesting.
Totally, because the original run agreed on some level that this was a beautiful place.
And now it's like you can only pretend it is.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Anyway, want to see Dougie get out of an elevator?
Oh, more than anything.
This is just like a 10-second scene that is so funny. It reminds me of a post I saw the other day that was like, do you think dogs understand elevators, or are they just like, okay, word, time to get in the world changer? Because he's sitting in the elevator with his back to the doors. He has no clue what the fuck is going on. Honestly, he has like such a dead look in his eyes. Maybe that's why, like, the look he has here is like the look that Sonny Jim had in the car. Like, is that what makes him cry, of like he's losing the spark and getting like me, you know?
Oh.
But as the elevator door opens, everyone in a chorus is like, sir, we have arrived. Jeez, come on, Dougie, get out of the way. Just like
they're so pissed. They're so pissed.
So funny. And then he just wanders over to the lawman and is just kind of standing, looking up at him, drawn to him, caressing his shoe. And that's the scene.
It's really funny that I gave you this one. I give myself the ones before and after.
I mean, the next one is also kind of just, Lily. And that's the scene. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. The pacing here, I really love. I love that we go from this like ecstatic Becky like long shot to this super chaotic. Everyone's talking. Everyone's super pissed off. Like it feels like a bucket of cold water, you know? Is there anything else to say about this?
No, I think we could come back to when we see him at the end, but take us to our boys.
Sure. Okay, yes. Another sort of quick and that's it type one. It is Andy and Deputy Hawk. They are sitting at the same table they've been sitting at for, I don't know, 20 episodes. And they are sorting through the Laura Palmer / Dale Cooper files to find the thing that Margaret said was missing. They still haven't found it. Andy remarks something like, there's no Indians in here, right? Like something like that. And Hawk goes like, no, there's not. And so I guess they just haven't found everything or haven't found anything.
It is so funny that we're like, they give us a little thing literally just to be like, we're not advancing this plotline this episode. Move on. Like, also, I love that last episode Lucy was saying indigenous people. You know that she's like, Andy, we can't say Indians. And Andy's just like, I don't get it. You know?
That's so true. Yes, completely.
Anyway, we then go to the resolution of a question that has taken us 5 episodes to get to, which is, what the fuck is Jacoby doing with those shovels? And honestly,
let's go.
Lily, you were not far off, to be honest.
I know.
Like, you were shockingly close for, like...
I'm amazed.
Because what is he doing with his shovels? Well, of course, doing his live web show he does at 7 p.m. as Dr. Amp, doing the vamp for liberty, climbing the ramp to justice, and lighting the lamp of freedom. He has all of his props. He has his crazy outfit. He has a fucking, like, wind-up gramophone. He says he's on the escarpment of a great mountain, the American Hindu Kush. I'm going to tell you, I don't think he's on an escarpment. He's got that fuck-ass hat that you have, Lily, and now we know where that fuck-ass hat is truly from.
I can't believe he lied about the escarpment.
Oh,
what the fuck?
He's going off. Is this audio worth putting in? Let's see how long it is. It goes from like 41:40 or so.
I think it's a quite long scene.
It is quite long. I don't think this is worth putting in. It's wow.
But to be honest,
it's like 3 minutes. He's just fucking going. Like,
yeah, the reason I wanted you to do this scene is because I feel like you could do a really good impression.
Oh, do I?
You could at least give it a shot. Like, I feel like you could go a little theater kid on this.
The fucks are at it again. They're the same shit on a different day. You can't see it without a cosmic flashlight, but it's the same vast global corporate conspiracy, which I gotta say, I don't know about that one, Dr. Amp. Also, I love he has a prop flashlight with like wings on it and Dr. Amp on it. So he's like going off on this whole thing about, and it's like really, you know, politically like inchoate. Like he's like, yeah, they're poisoning our air and our bodies and our land and our water. I'm like, okay, he's really doing the drill tweet of like turning the big dial that says racism back and forth and looking to the audience for approval. And he's got, his huckleberry extract, none of that acai berry shit from the Amazon. And he sure is like, oh yeah, you know, you read the label of what they're selling you, that frozen children's treat. Poison, deadly poisons. I love he's going off about like all the ailments that they're caused, psoriasis, eczema, and then he pauses. Where are the cops when we need them? And then he goes back. Anorexia. I think what they're going for is that he's just a kind of like, you know, populist thing that is ambiguously unclear whether it's right or left. But to be honest, when guys are doing that, they're usually pretty far right, and that's why they're doing it.
Definitely feels that way.
You know, and I said earlier about his vast global corporate conspiracy thing. It sure is giving anti-Semitism, certainly.
Yes, definitely.
It's certainly giving like he's fucking what's his name? The guy who get back here, coward, and he's chasing him. What's his fucking name? Do you know
I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, fuck, hold on. The fucking far right guy, he got sued for saying that Sandy Hook didn't happen.
Oh, Alex Jones.
Yes, he's kind of giving Alex Jones, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it is to me.
I really love, as he's going off, he says like, you know, watch out for what you're cooking up because of all the poisons. And then we cut to Jerry Horn sitting in the woods. He says, we'll see what they're cooking up today. And we see Jerry Horn sitting in the woods watching it on his iPad, saying, I know what I'll be cooking up as he sparks up a joint. Is crazy.
Yeah.
And then we get a one-shot check-in on our queen, who unfortunately, I guess, is bought in on this, Nadine.
I honestly find this heartbreaking.
I know.
Like, Jerry doesn't really surprise me. I find this very sad.
I know.
In the same way, this feels like our check-in on Sarah Palmer.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. This is what it's like when you find out that your aunt, who you like, has gotten really into Fox News, you know?
No, sad. I adore this scene. I think there's so much here.
Well, anyway, so you're like, oh, listener, if you're not watching the show, I say it every time, just watch the show. But you might be like, oh yeah, what does that have to do with the shovels? Well, you see, we're all in the shit. And then he hits a button to first, actually, he gets the shovel and he hits it with the hammer so that it can make a ringing bell sound. And he's like, we have to act now. And then he hits a button to cut to his commercial that he's pre-recorded. We're all in the shit. Dig yourself out of the shit. This is your shiny gold shovel. 2 coats guaranteed. Dig yourself out of the shit. $29.99. And it's just like a late night infomercial. Buy Dr. Amp's gold shit digging shovel. And it's so funny that it's like we're just going proverbially from but dig yourself out of this shit to yeah, you need your golden shovel. It's crazy. And it is really not that far off from what you were saying.
I get that what it's lampooning is how like the Alex Jones types do just sell you a bunch of bullshit, but it's funny how much this, like usually it's supplements or whatever. This is nothing at all. I think, are you maybe just meant to hang it on your wall?
I don't know. It's just the affinity? Metaphor shovel. Like, I guess. Yeah.
It's the metaphor shovel.
Yeah.
Dude, I have so many thoughts on this as a content creator.
Yeah, please.
It's an interesting mix of like understandable frustrations and total quackery and like
making money off of it,
pipeline bullshit. Yeah. There's so many contradictions. So for example, he's got this like anti-science sort of back to the land rural kind of thing going on, but then his name is Dr. Amp, you know? all of his stuff is electricity themed. There's also, he says that he's drinking clean boiled water from the pure artesian springs of Whitetail Peaks. But like, you don't, I think the thing with spring water theoretically is that you're allowed to just drink it as it is. Like, I think boiling it does suggest a certain level of paranoia, even in the things that you turn to for safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just love this. Like, something else that I catch here is where are the cops when we need them kind of unlocked a lot for me. I have been saying in the last couple episodes, it feels like, quoting that Hannah Bear essay, Loving the World on Fire, like there is no mama, right? It feels like there's no one watching over these people. There's no force that is there for them when they need something. Like, this was most pointed when Dale was in the casino. Where are the cops when we need them is really, like, that really distills it. It feels like all of this comes back to the failure of the Twin Peaks Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I love that.
It feels like this is tying the whole state of the world to specifically Dale's failure, to be honest with you.
I really love that.
No one can rely on the things that they are told to rely on, whether it's like the family or police or fucking each other, your job, etc. Like the earth is being poisoned, in real life and in Twin Peaks, and that matches almost exactly. A lot of his thing is very almost verbatim the Hannah Bear essay, talking about how, like, that there is no mama because you need to check, like, you're Googling around to see if your food is like sprayed with Roundup, It is a very reasonable frustration, and there's no one really managing it for us. With that said, there are just so many contradictions in his whole thing that I can't help but wonder. And this is less a question for the show and more like for the kind of thing that, like, this Dr. Imp character is based on. What is it exactly that people get out of this? Because it's not like he's really advocating a coherent worldview. I can't imagine a person who, how do you agree with everything he's saying? Because it,
I'm not going to articulate this the most precisely that I could, but like, it makes me think of Walter Benjamin. Although I'm actually never sure if it's supposed to be Benjamin, but
yeah, Benjamin, I think.
Yeah, so Walter Benjamin, Marxist theorist of all time, one of the greats. Like, he has a thing in the work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction that's like, part of what fascism does is recognize the contradictions of capitalism and that people suffer because of them because they are materially deprived, and offers a strictly aesthetic resolution of that contradiction, and like makes war aesthetic and says, like, yes, instead of actually materially waging war on the ruling class and like getting material benefits, you are going to stay materially deprived and oppressed, but aesthetically you can align yourself with the fascist ruler, and by participating in fascist violence, whether that's war or like ethnic cleansing or whatever it is that you're doing, you can fulfill emotionally and aesthetically the desire and need for actual material change in the world. It feels like that's definitely what's going on here.
Thank you for articulating that. Yeah, I totally am with that.
Shout out Walter.
Also feels like the main conceit of the greatest, I'm not going to say greatest American movie of all time, but maybe I am. Network is all about this. And the main character
really
is
to watch Network.
Dude, oh my God, it's phenomenal. It's crazy that they made that.
I really need to watch Network.
The main character is very much a Dr. Amp type, and people just go to him for like venting like a pressure release valve or something that actually makes them less liable to make things better.
I mean, I really love you, because I had just reacted to the where the cops would need them as like, it's funny that he just goes to that and keeps listing things. But I really love that that's like, yeah, it is specifically Dale's failure that left a vacuum that let this become the thing that people are turning to. And again, it really is like, yeah, I guess he did get disgraced as a psychiatrist and then became this. And like Jerry and Nadine are looking to it is really like, it's funny, but it is really depressing. I also just want to say this is especially why if you remember when we recorded, I think literally right after Trump won, and people on Twitter were being like, yeah, Jacoby would have voted for Trump for sure. And Mark Frost had quote tweeted that, being like, no, he would not have in your dreams. And we was like, bullshit. And at the time, we were both like, bullshit, dude, because of how he's fucking everything about him, even then, with his fucking like Hawaiian wife and having sex with Laura and everything. But that man co-wrote this guy in this scene. You're telling me that he's not in love with RFK? You're crazy. Like,
that's exactly what it is.
Right?
Hey, can I also say before we move on that like Dr. Jacoby was he was in a role of playing like the quote unquote the container, the thing Hanna-Barbera calls mama. That is like, that terminology is from psychoanalysis. He was a therapist who completely failed at his duties. When he says, where are the cops when you need them? It's like,
he was one of yes, absolutely. Yes.
He is the one who failed in his duties, right? Fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy and his shovel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Sorry. I know we totally should keep moving, but I will say one last thing. In terms of the political incoherence, the way the shovels are introduced is he says, as Pete Seeger said, if I had a hammer, well, I've got a hammer. It's so funny. But like Pete Seeger, famously socialist folk musician.
Yeah.
Like one of the furthest left celebrities America has ever had. And so that is totally how the populist right co-ops these figures. And it feels like a very sharp thing to include.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I have a hammer, like completely misunderstanding it too.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that crazy scene. We kind of have a little in and out next.
So this next one, a character who the description tells me is named Lieutenant Cynthia Knox, goes into an office of a higher up at the Pentagon and says, we have another match for Garland Briggs's fingerprints. The boss man says that is the 16th match of his fingerprints in 25 years. And they're like, wow, like, it's probably not real. It's probably nothing. But like, if it's something, it could be pretty huge. And so they're going to go investigate in person. That's kind of it, right?
Yeah. Kind of just confirming your brain genius Briggs corpse theory. Soft confirming.
Thank you, Queen.
You're the one who said it.
I forgot.
No, it was all you. You got there.
Hooray.
Anyway, we then go to the Roadhouse where the band Trouble is playing. And it's, okay, a bunch of things about this scene. One, I saw them in the credits all as Trouble, and for a second I thought that maybe like the group of punks earlier had just all been collectively credited as Trouble, but no, it's the name of the band. That makes more sense.
Wait, I also thought that. That's so funny.
And the show has really eased us into like, yeah, the band is at the Roadhouse. The episode is over. Time to relax and watch the credits. Nope, not true. The show is being fucking mean to us.
Yeah.
Because Richard, and as I mentioned earlier, this is Richard Horn, as the credits tell us, although this scene does not tell us, is smoking beneath the no smoking sign because he does not give a fuck. And like, truly this happens and it's minute 46 of 58, and just that was so destabilizing to see. Yeah. So before we get into everything else, it's just really like the Roadhouse has become so much more of a venue. Like the crowd is up and dancing.
Totally.
It is like more
to this like psychedelic blues kind of post-rock music.
In the way that like before there was music, but it was like a bar where there was music, and now it is like a venue. A guy who works there comes up and is like, hey man, stop smoking. And then fucking Chad from last episode comes over and is like, I can handle this, and then does not handle this and takes a bribe of several $100s from him.
Just to be allowed to keep smoking at the bar?
My assumption is that they are doing some kind of like drug or crime deal together, and this is how he's paying him for the drugs. And that it just happened to coincide with this, is my guess. And then it gets genuinely really grim and dark very fast.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because again, like I was already like, wow, we're really shaking up the Roadhouse recipe. Then we see there have been like 4 women sitting in front, kind of looking back, and one of them is like, ooh, he's smoking. He's not allowed to. I'm gonna ask him for a light. And he just fucking grabs her and was like squeezing her throat, and very explicitly is like, I would like to rape you. That would be cool. It's honestly kind of evocative of Bobby Peru.
Oh, and Wild at Heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like so different from violence in the original run, and even like sexual violence in Fire Walk with Me, which even when it was horrifying was very like high aestheticized type of horror. And now it's just happening in this just upsetting, just like straightforward, like you've been saying, like desensationalized way. And I won't say the exact lines he's saying, but he is really like explicitly threatening rape while grabbing her. And then everyone is watching the band. This is what I was saying about earlier, like everyone just watching the spectacle and not like being able to, in a way that makes them completely oblivious to what is happening literally right next to them, is like it's the lonely souls of it all, but like dialed up
completely
so much. And the band is like doing all these flashing lights, which has always been like evocative of like Black Lodge stuff.
You're right.
And then that's the scene, and we don't come back to this. Like, we don't know how this ends. Is like so, you know, really, really upsetting scene. Like, effectively.
Yeah, really. Yes. No, it's an excellent scene, but it's so fucked. It's so dark.
Yeah.
Not good. The only silver lining is that psychedelic blues is filling dance floors. It is really good,
yeah.
There's a big demand for this stuff in a town with 5,000 people.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have things to say about the scene?
I don't think I do. I mean, it's extremely effective and dark and fucked up, and I really feel for the physical peril that young woman is in.
Yeah. I think it's really, to me, the things is like, one, the spectacle, two, the show is already starting to set up these expectations with the Roadhouse scenes and then like use them against us.
Totally. Yeah, I thought we were just gonna be vibing.
And just the way he grabs her and the specific stuff he says is like so, again, just like crass. And even compared to like the sexual assault scenes, again, in Fire Walk with Me, there's no aestheticization to it at all. It's really pointed.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, rough fucking scene. And then we just keep going. We get a brief scene of Tammy Preston, who's looking at Coop's photo, which I love is just, I believe, a photo just from the show. Actually, I thought it was him against red curtains, but it might be like the brown wood of the station, but it's clearly just a still from the 1990s television show Twin Peaks that she is holding.
Yes, it definitely is.
And she is really like kind of look at everything, trying to figure something out. And it's very like not super clear, but it looks like she sees something in the fingerprints of like, she's looking at Dale's fingerprints from back in the 90s and the fingerprints of Mr. C that they have. And she seems to notice something different. She zooms in specifically on the left ring finger. Which
the ring finger.
Yeah, we sure have heard about those. So she's seen something. We don't know much more. This is kind of just we'll come back to that. But do you have thoughts here, or shall I just take us right through?
Yeah, not particularly.
Okay. Then, speaking of Mr. C, he's getting his phone call in jail. I love, and this scene is honestly really good. He's being a great spooky badass in this scene. The warden comes up to give him the phone, and he's like, "Thanks, Warden Murphy," addressing him by his name, like already disconcerting him a little bit. Everyone leaves. Of course, like, he's supposed to be, private, but he knows that they're watching, and so he's just looking straight into the camera, and he's like, now that everyone's here, I'm going to take my phone call. Who should I call? Should I call Mr. Strawberry? Which at first I thought was like him just like making up silly names to like be like, this is all. But when he says that, the warden seems really rattled.
He's like, fuck, this guy knows Mr. Strawberry.
Like, kind of unironically though. It feels like Mr. Strawberry means something to the warden that he does not like that Mr. C knows what it means. Then he's like, oh, by the way, also shout out to Dell product placement once again on the computer screens. There was also, I think, a very prominent MacBook Apple logo in the last one. So they keep doing it.
Oh, wait. Okay. Dell Mibbler?
Oh my God. I'm doing the like YouTube Pog thumbnail. Secrets revealed. It was all there. This explains everything. Anyway, he takes the phone and like punches in a bunch of like beep, 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 boop, boop, Yeah, like that, exactly. Which seems to just fucking like hack the prison's alarm system and sets off like every alarm at once. It also like starts playing random shit on their security screens, like it's showing like a guy working in a workshop, and it seems to just be like a cooking show.
Mm.
And then while like all that is going on, he says into the phone, "The cow jumped over the moon." Well, no one could hear him.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Uh-huh.
Which is like so fucking freaky.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
It's really good. It's really fun.
Like, this might be a bit of a nitpick, but I don't understand why, if the purpose of all this was to say a line that no one could hear, why they made a point, like why the guards made a point of saying that the system was recording. Because like they could just play it back, you know?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like when the warden arrives in the room, he's like, Is it recording now?
I think he meant the security camera is recording.
Yeah, but like if it's recording, they can just play it back.
Yeah, but I think the point is that the alarm's going off and everything means that it's not audible.
But yeah, I'm sure that is true and the intention, but like we heard it, you know?
Yeah, but we heard it from right next to him.
You're right. It is like a very small complaint. I just would not have included that recording line probably. But doesn't matter because the next thing that happens is so freaky.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So remember way back at the beginning of the episode, Lorraine texted two to a thing and we saw this device blink. Well, we're back here now and I know you claimed this one. I'm going to take it because
it's so tiny.
But also,
go for it.
I'm just going to say I really love the sentence that the fan wiki has written about it. The device flashes twice with its red lights and then shrinks to a kind of seed, which honestly, yeah, that's about all you can say about it. It shrinks to like a kind of seed. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. Like, it feels like this is triggered not by Lorraine texting it, but that something what he did, like he got on the phone and somehow triggered this alarm and also sent this message to this thing, which is like self-destructing in response to him being in jail or something.
Oh, self-destructing is interesting.
That's the vibe I get from it, is like, you know, no one can compromise it. But also, it's like he put Black Lodge shit in his device that made it do that. Like he's introducing his foul magics into his fucking devices.
Into multiple continents.
Yeah.
How did it get to fucking Argentina?
That's what I'm saying.
Me too, sister.
I don't know. Philip Jeffries. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, he sure shrunk it into a kind of seed. Yeah, that's kind of that scene. I don't know if you have more things to say, really.
The only thing it makes me think of the kind of seed, it's like a little shiny, I read it as like a shiny little rock, and it reminds me of when original Dougie was like compressed down into the little gold bead.
I agree. It definitely has that same vibe.
But I don't know what that connection means or what the compression into a little seed, like what that is. Yeah,
no fucking clue. Like I said, don't ask me. Anyway, and then we get the actual last scene after we really thought it was going to be the Roadhouse like final scene credits play, but instead we get something else.
Yeah, so Dale as Dougie is still at that statue of the guy holding the gun, the sheriff. He's just sort of got his hand on the shoes, kind of feeling the smooth metal of the shoe. It's like night is falling. He's clearly been there for like at least a few hours. And a security guard comes by and goes like, "Hey buddy, no loitering. Gotta keep moving." Which Dale does not. He just stays there and the security guard moves on, and Dale kind of, he like looks up at the statue and the credits roll, and that's it.
Yeah. I really love the like soulful jazz as he's tenderly brushing the lawman's shoes.
I really was not sure how to like read his attraction to the statue, but I do like the idea that this is as familiar as an old friend to him.
Yeah, it does feel like definitely that's it. Like he somehow recognizes that this says something to him as Dale Cooper that he can't articulate, but is drawn to it.
That is so sad.
I know, yeah. I love we get like a security guard is like, "No loitering." Just remind me of that great scene in Universal Language.
Which one?
When they like visit the mall and the guy's like, "There's a 45-second limit here. I'm gonna have to ticket you for loitering unless you move," you know?
Yeah. That's
But
sad.
also, again, such a great, like, this is how the world has changed now. You can't stand by a statue without a security guard telling you you're loitering.
Completely. Oh,
Yeah. Anyway,
that is sad.
that's the episode.
That's the episode, baby.
And truly, what a fake out of an ending.
I know, eh? It's funny that, like, it's not even like the second to last scene. It's like the fourth or third to last scene.
Yeah.
It just keeps going a good while. Yeah. Crazy. So cool structure.
Do you think they're going to then just go back to having them at the end as normal? Or are they just going to start being like, fuck it, we're 10 minutes into the episode. Have one of these now, you know?
I think this works because the expectation, like the default is that it's at the end.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they broke that a couple more times. But I think and I hope we'll keep getting them at the end. Also, that band, Trouble, the front man, or one of what I guess they're all instrumentalists, but one of the guys is Riley Lynch, David Lynch's son.
Oh my god, is that the one who's the guy, the kid?
No, he was born in 1992 apparently.
That's funny because they were good, but it really is David Lynch being like, I can get my kids, I can get my friends' kids, everyone come on in.
Yeah, well, apparently Riley Lynch was also a production assistant on this show.
That's so funny. Anyway, that's the episode.
Anyway.
Do you have any crazy dreams?
I don't think I had any crazy dreams.
I also do not have anything to report, unless you secretly do.
I want to leave a moment of silence for the listener to tell us about any crazy dreams they've had.
Yes.
A moment of silence for our listeners. Sadie, I need you to be quiet. I feel like you're not taking this seriously. And there it is. Thank you. That was crazy. Oh my god, I learned so much about your dream.
You really were like, we are doing a full 30 seconds of this. Okay, anyway, so we have fun. Last time on Twin Peaks.
Yeah, what did I predict?
Your predictions were, we did not. The show loves to fucking do this to us, where the end of last episode, they're like, and I know a woman who we can meet, and we were speculating that it would be Diane, and then this episode, the show goes, not fucking yet, pal. Come on. What, you think we're gonna follow up on the hook we set up last episode?
Please.
Go fuck yourself, buddy. So okay. You said the woman who they mentioned will be Diane, played by Catherine Keener. She's new agey, into crystals, sprightly like Dale, and she's built up an idyllic idea of Dale that is unhelpful and misdirects them for a few episodes. I think that one's going on ice. Yeah. You said Dougie in his crazy suit is an environmental lawyer, and his suit is green because of plants. Instead of the chair company style mess that he gets away with, because people think of him as the boss. He gives a really inspirational speech accidentally. They're supposed to sue someone to pay for cleanup of a forest. He sees the dead trees and thinks of Glastonbury Grove. This does not get his memory back. And no dice for that one, unfortunately.
But kind of a banger, you have to admit.
I do agree. And I will say, following the events of the original run, Jacoby exploitative relationships with his client. He was forced to reckon with this and run out of town, and is an anti-woke crusader with his shovel is frankly like almost the closest prediction you've ever made, you know?
Yeah, I would say the only thing that's explicitly wrong is that the shovel represents cancel culture and he wants to bury the shovel so no one can do any more digging on the misdeeds of men. But I did say it was for a YouTube video, which it is for like a Twitch stream or something. So I am very pleased with myself here.
And the shovel is a bullshit metaphor like that, you know?
Yes, that's true. No, I'm pretty stunned here. I'm not gonna lie.
Hell, you should.
I love when I actually get one of these right.
Hell yeah. So what's gonna happen next time? I guess we know that the Diane prediction is on ice.
Yeah. So I won't make any more predictions about that. Still holding out for Keener.
We could speculate about how Mr. C is gonna maybe get out of prison if we think that's something that's gonna happen.
I kind of really don't know what's being built to in this moment.
We know that Dougie made that, like, what's the follow-up on Dougie's claim that guy is lying, and how does that manifest?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet that we will see Dougie and that he will continue to be blessed by the forces of the lodge in some way. I'm gonna say that helps him get home. Because right now it's the middle of the night and he's
That's
stranded.
a good point. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on like a step that he takes towards maybe proving that that guy was lying about the thing somehow? Like how the lodge pushes him towards revealing that?
Yeah. I'm not certain that this will happen next episode, but I will predict it now. I think he will at some point return to the casino and he will see the slightly Italian American guy talking to some shady mob figures at the casino. And so he'll know that there are financial crimes here somewhere, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think he'll be in a position to express it yet.
But he learns that. I love it.
Oh, but also he's going to be in big trouble if he goes back there. So let's expand on that a little bit. Let's say that the mob guys see him and try to maybe like beat him up or kidnap him or something. It's only stopped because his coworker is there and his coworker knows he will be in big trouble if he allows this to happen. So it's like it would be complicated to rat this guy out now because he saved you, you know, even though he's evil.
Yeah. I like that. How about any B plots? Like either Mr. C or following up on okay, you know, we still don't know what the fuck is going on with Matthew Lillard.
Oh yeah. Where did we leave off with that?
He was in jail and basically just he was in jail and there was that weird like soot blasted guy next to him. Let me see. But we could also see, like, are we getting a follow-up on any of these side characters? Maybe Amanda Seyfried has something going on. I don't know. Dealer's choice.
Okay, dealer's choice. It's just because characters seem pretty infrequently in consecutive episodes in meaningful ways. Yeah. I can guess like so-and-so is going to happen. I don't actually think it'll happen in the next episode, but here is something at least.
Okay.
I think by pure happenstance, Dr. Amp will like chance onto some genuine conspiracy. And I think the woodsman will appear as a figure of, you know, we are the forces of evil. I think he's some kind of Black Lodge spirit. And Dr. Amp will be, I'm just going to keep calling that, it's fun. He will have the choice between partnering with the evil spirit and benefiting from it, or continuing to fight the evil. And he will choose to partner with the evil in the same way that Leland Palmer did.
All right.
He will become compromised in his legitimacy as a streamer. I can't imagine something worse.
Put that one in all caps. Well, listener, I know what will happen in the next episode of Twin Peaks. Spoiler warning if you don't want to know, but here's what will happen. Dougie will keep being blessed by the lodge, which will help him get home. He will return to the casino and see the slightly Italian-American guy talking to some shady mob figures and know that there are some financial crimes afoot. The mob guys will see him and try to beat him up, and it's only stopped because his coworker is there and knows he'll be in big trouble if he allows it to happen. And now their fates are bound together. Meanwhile, Dr. Amp will by happenstance stumble onto a genuine conspiracy. The woodsman will appear as the forces of evil, and Dr. Amp will have the choice between partnering with and benefiting from it or fighting the evil. He will choose to partner with the evil as Leland did, and he will become compromised in his legitimacy as a screamer, as a streamer.
No, my streamer.
And that's what you can look forward to.
That's what you can look forward to.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you all for listening.
We will see you next time.
Bye. TSTV is hosted by Sadie Avery Lake and yours truly, Lily Alexander. Our music is by Jamie Page, show art is by Maya Fernandez-Giles, and this episode was edited by Mary Chan at Organized Sound Productions. If you have any burning questions or comments for us, please send us an email at hello@tstv.show. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
Hello, it's Sadie. I'm here with the content warnings for Twin Peaks The Return Part 6, also known as Don't Die. The title is a misnomer because I will say the big things I will tell you about is there is some murder on screen that is played pretty gory and grimly, as well as a fatal hit and run of a child, which is played to be grim and upsetting. Those are the two big ones. I guess the other thing I will say is that relevant to the murderer is played by a little person in a way that, I'm sure we'll talk about in the episode, I think feels exploitative and feels like a kind of shock value casting that I don't agree with Twin Peaks doing. So, that said, I hope you enjoy the episode. Bye!